Today's classic interview is not necessarily linked to anything that's going on now in particular. It's not particularly timely based on any other guests that we've had. It's just one of my funniest interview memories that I have when I think back to interviews we've done. It's from February 10th of 2011, and it's when I interviewed Craig Gross from xxchurch.com, and the interview was about porn addiction and his thoughts about homosexuality. And what made me think of it is that there's this documentary now on Netflix. I believe it's in the documentary Hot Girls Wanted, which is a movie about the sort of amateur-ish porn modeling world. It's a very interesting documentary, and they interview Craig Gross. And if I'm wrong, it may be because it's about a documentary on the legalization of sex work. And now I've seen so many documentaries recently that I don't remember which it is that Craig Gross is in. But in any event, this is the interview from years and years ago when Craig Gross was not as well known as a sort of anti-porn advocate. And it's just a hilarious interview. So let's not delay anymore. February 10th, 2011, my interview with Craig Gross.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So I first heard about you. You've been getting a ton of press over the last week, and of course around the Super Bowl. And I'm just trying to figure out: are you a church? Are you an actual pastor or not?
I'm an actual pastor, but I would say we're not an actual church as you know it. Building and Sunday services, so to speak, but an online community.
And so the big issue has been porn addiction. You've gotten some football players to participate in what I guess, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but what you believe is a significant concern. Tell me a little bit about how you got involved in this topic.
Yeah, about 9 years ago is when I started xxchurch.com. And the idea was just to create a safe place online where people could get help and they could get the truth about pornography. So for the last 9 years, we've just really set out to just help people, raise awareness that this is an issue, prevent people from actually, involving this in their life, and then help people with recovery. So those are the things we've been up to.
And how did you figure out that this was such a big issue? I mean, are you a former porn addict or current maybe? I mean, I don't know.
For me, no. I mean, I can count the number of times that I saw this growing up as a kid. I was an actual youth pastor, and so I started working with kids that back in the late 90s where this is what they were struggling with, that nobody knew it was online now. They didn't have to pursue it. It was kind of pursuing them.
So when you were a youth pastor, people would come to you unprovoked. In other words, you hadn't prompted this idea of are you or are you not addicted to online porn? And they would say, Craig, I can't stop looking at online porn.
Yeah, it was just a number of kids that you do a talk at church or at camp. And especially with the guys, they would just kind of come up to you and say, yeah, this is an issue that I'm struggling with and nobody knows. It's so easy to find online, and here's where I'm at.
So what percentage of people, I mean, do you have a sense of what percentage of people in the general population are addicted to porn? Is it more men than women?
It's definitely more men than women, but there's a growing trend of women that now are looking at this. I mean, they estimate between 30 and 40 million people every day logging on to pornographic web pages. It's, I think, the third most popular thing to do online.
But so actually, what percentage? I mean, 30 to 40 million are logging on. Certainly you don't think all of those are addicted, right?
No, I don't think everybody's addicted. I mean, we're not going to be in favor of just the casual use, but I just know this stuff is very progressive and it's very, I think, addicting. And so what you're looking at online eventually could take you offline. What you're looking at maybe started off as softcore as progressed in days to hardcore. So no, I think there's more people that are in over their heads with porn than would admit to it. Nobody wants to admit they're really in trouble. And that's the thing, like with AA, I think is great about AA. You go to AA in any city in America and you admit, hey, I'm an alcoholic. No one wants to admit, for various reasons, that they're struggling with this. So there's so many people that are in denial. And until you accept it and until you understand that you're in maybe too deep, you're not going to get out of this or even on any sort of process of recovery.
Yeah, I was looking at the test you have on your website. People can log on. I think it's 40 or so questions roughly, and they're yes or no questions, and the idea is to determine if you are addicted to porn. And some of the questions struck me, like, for example, are any of your sexual activities against the law? Do you hide your sexual behavior from others? I have been sexual with minors. a lot of these relate to crime, not to watching online porn. Have you had people come to you and admit to sex with minors, or have people admitted to crimes to you?
Yeah, I get letters from jail every week. I mean, I've taken people to jail, so it's.
So again, have you had, outside of the test, have people you've had people come to you and confess things that resulted in you taking them to jail?
Yeah. I mean, I took a guy I met at a church that told me how he was. I mean, I didn't get him arrested. He told me, "Here's what's happening." And, I'm going through this process and I'll probably go to jail. Most of the time when we hear those stories, people have already gotten caught. No one's going to tell me something still, probably, if they haven't been found out.
I'm curious what your position is on gay marriage. And the reason I bring it up is many people I've interviewed who have very strong positions on porn and morality and revealing billboards also are very, very anti-gay. They believe people who are gay are going to hell. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I think the church loves to, speak out against things. We've always just tried to speak on things that, one, we know about, and two, that we can offer help with. I don't, just like pornography. I mean, I'm not, I would say homosexual lifestyle is not something that as a believer that I would, support, just like I don't support porn, but I try and understand people that are dealing with this. So I guess I'm not against people that choose to live that way. I'm not against people that choose to look at porn. I think the gay people that I've met, and we've gone to gay porn shows. We've met a number of people that are gay. I don't understand it, say, maybe as well as I do people that are struggling with porn. And I feel like a lot of times the church just kind of speaks out against it. No, that's wrong. Well, it can be wrong. Like, I believe it's wrong, but if you don't believe the Bible, there's nothing that would stop you from believing it's right. I mean, if that's how you want to live your life, I can't.
Well, wait, let me jump in there. You just said, for example, you believe it's wrong. Are you referring to porn or homosexuality there?
I think both things, I would say, scripturally are wrong. Does it mean I'm against gay people, or does it mean I'm against, like, I'm not against porn. Like, I don't view porn, and I'm trying to help people that are struggling with porn. And the people that I met that are gay, I mean, I don't think it's as easy as the work that I've done with pornography, as far as, hey, here's some steps to stay away from porn. Like, the people, and I think there's not enough Christians, especially, that have gay friends, because when you meet somebody that's a homosexual that says, hey, I've met a lot of them that said, I didn't choose this. This isn't what I wanted.
And do you believe that? Do you believe that? Do you believe it's a choice?
It's very difficult to me. I think when I meet somebody that has said, hey, I wish I wasn't. And then I meet somebody that says, well, I was, and now I'm not. So once again, like, I have a tough time understanding all that. All I know is, like, we've tried to love people for who they are and what they do, no matter. I think that's what Jesus is all about. And I don't think there's three simple steps like there is with porn that I taught yesterday at church, or Sunday at church, to stop being gay.
This is interesting. This is I'm fascinated by this, because you mentioned it's not as easy with homosexuality as it is with porn. In other words, there are steps you can give someone to stay away from porn. When I hear that, and I want to be very clear, because there's a big difference, it sounds like you're saying somebody could just go through a series of steps and so-called leave homosexuality. Not that you have those specific steps. You said you don't. Was that what you're saying? People could just leave homosexuality?
There's people that I've met that have told me, I don't want to be gay, but I'm not going to be active in my lifestyle because I'm a Christian. I believe that's wrong, but there's no way I'm going to be interested in, if this is a guy, I'm going to be interested in another gal. There's other people that I've met that have said, hey, I used to be a homosexual and now I'm a heterosexual. So it's to me, as somebody that kind of looks on the outside of this, it's like feminists. You meet one feminist that will say, I'm against porn. You meet another one that says, I'm for porn. And they're very split now on that issue.
So in other words, you believe people when they say they have, in other words, prayed away the gay, as the term may be. You believe that may have happened. That may be true.
I mean, I've met people that said I mean I was gay and now I am not. But then I've met other people that have said I wish it was that easy.
Right.
So you could have a great debate, with that. I think hands down.
We've been speaking with Craig Gross. XXXchurch.com is the website. Thanks so much for talking to us, Craig.
All right, thanks.
All right, best of luck.